Hola, me llamo Sam. I have 20 days off of work and I've come to Colombia. The following video is my experience. The first thing that I noticed when arriving in Colombia is just how welcoming and kind the locals are. Within 10 minutes of getting off my plane, I was offered both cocaine as well as sexual services from a woman. Although I appreciate these kind gestures, I turned both offers down. While in Cartagena, I've decided I will be participating in my first marathon. I do have some previous running experience, and in the past I've ran upwards of 3 miles. I did manage to get my hands on some Colombian Coke. This should keep my energy levels peaked and help propel me to the finish line. I'm attempting to keep about a 30-minute mile pace. I am experiencing some slight cramping in my calves, but not nearly enough to make me want to quit just yet. As I was walking through the old part of Cartagena this evening, I was getting lots of cat calls from the ladies. I did do an extra set of tricep dips this morning, and I thought perhaps they were taking notice of this. But as it turns out, I actually walked into a massive prostitution ring. Pretty much every girl right now in the main town plaza is a hooker. I'm leaving Cartagena and taking a 5-hour bus ride to a city called Santa Marta. I got the $15 luxury bus. Some of the amenities of this bus include air conditioning as well as seat belts, so it should be a pleasant little ride. I've been thinking about quitting my fire job and instead pursuing a career as a Colombian drug mule. I'm not too stressed out about having to store contraband inside of my body. My main worries is that I'll stick out like a sore thumb to the policia. I'm a gringo and therefore my skin is muy blanco. So in order to fit in with my Colombian counterparts, I'm gonna spend some time here in the sun. Tayrona is very beautiful, but I do have a couple of issues with it. The first thing is just how crowded it is. When you first get here, you just feel like cattle getting herded, and once you get on the trail, it's a little bit better, but it's pretty narrow and girls are constantly stopping to do butt selfies or do their duck face for Instagram. Another issue I have is just with the heat and humidity. My boob sweat is just off the charts right now. It looks like I'm constantly lactating, which is rather embarrassing.
Guys, can you follow me right now? I'm gonna finish myself in a second.
It's time to get this party started. Little bit of rain, no big deal. Day one is in the books, and for some reason I wasn't expecting it to rain in the rainforest, but it started absolutely dumping on us. We walked about 6 miles and I was the first one to fall on my buttocks, so now I owe the group some beers. We made it to our camp. We're gonna rest here for the night. My new goal is to not shatter my leg, because if I do, there's no helicopter coming for me. They're simply gonna strap me on the back of a donkey and send me on my way. Day 2 of the hike is supposed to be the hardest. We started in at 6 a.m. We're gonna be going till 5. If you are gonna do this hike, it is not a walk in the park. I highly recommend you hit the Stairmaster and also invest in a shake weight. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Time to do a little carb loading. It's 5 in the morning. We're about to make our way up to the ruins. I do have some major chafage going on. This is not a good situation. I'm gonna be duck walking my way up there. The final section is just a straight Stairmaster for 30 minutes. And we have officially made it to the Lost City. I'll give you a very brief and probably butchered history of this place, but it was built in the 400s, and in the 1600s the Spaniards came. Initially they were trading gold with them, but then the Spaniards figured, you know what, it would just be a whole lot easier to enslave you and steal your gold. So they started to do that. The Spaniards never found this place, but the inhabitants fled because the Spaniards also brought with them disease, and all of these guys' homies were just dropping like flies. So they fled off into the woods for 400 years. This city was discovered in the 70s, and now it's open for tourism, but the only way to get here is by doing the 4-day hike, and they only allow 150 people in a day. Oh, come on, not on the trail. Whoa, came across some crazy stuff here in the jungle. This is getting nuts out here. Some 4 days and 30 miles later, I am done. Necesito una cerveza.
Santa Marta.
I'm cruising to a new city, and I say the name wrong every time, but I believe it's called Medellin. According to everyone I've talked to, this is a must-go spot in Colombia. I had the option of either taking a 1-hour flight or a 20-hour bus ride. They're right around the same price. I've decided to go with the flight. I did wake up this morning with a slight case of the sniffles. To combat this, I've been eating copious amounts of chicharrones and also downing tons of Pedialyte.
Solicitamos ubicarte únicamente en la silla que debes asignar en tu pase de abordar.
Pretty chaotic. Medellin used to be known as the world's most deadly city, and its most dangerous community is called Comuna 13, and that's where I'll be heading today. The area used to be plagued with drug trafficking, murders, and all around just bad things. And for my own protection, I was considering hitting the streets and trying to sling my drone for a handgun, but the receptionist at the hostel let me know this wasn't necessary. The area's had a complete turnaround, and now it's full of awesome graffiti art, delicious food, and the people are just happy to have tourists instead of guys with handguns. I'm taking the stage next. I have a couple of rhymes I'm ready to unleash on the world. Even Comuna 13 has a craft beer scene.
Show me what you got. Take off your sandal, little Moses, what impression of God. Do you understand? Never set my lamb because you will not get made up in my holy hands. Yes, yes, yo. I live in a country with no memories. They believe.
It's December, therefore it's bulking season, and there's no better place to bulk than here in Colombia because absolutely all their food is fried. I'm off to have lunch. I'm gonna have the most famous Colombian dish called bandeja paisas, or something along those lines. It consists of chicharrones, beef, eggs, avocado, and all sorts of other deliciousness. I reminded myself that I do in fact still have a job, so I went out and treated myself by getting my own room at a hostel. This is it. It is $24 a night. I have been doing the 4 or 6 person hostel rooms, which aren't the worst, but I must admit, it is nice having my own space that I can sort of just scamper around in and do whatever activities I like. It's a Friday night in Medellin, and I'm gonna be hitting the town. Colombians love to dance, and although I don't see myself ending up at a Colombian discoteca, if I do, I'll be all right because I'm gonna be wearing my new pair of stretchy jeans. These allow for maximum hip gyration if needed on the dance floor. On my travels, I usually don't do a whole bunch of lounging on the beach, but that's gonna change today. I'm heading to a hostel on the water. It's a 2-hour speedboat ride from Cartagena. I'm gonna be indulging in some adult beverages and trying to get my tan on. Tonight will be the first time I've ever slept in a hammock, and I'm hoping it treats my back right. Pretty cool little hostel, and off here in the background we have a large painting of a woman with her breast out.